Why would you purposely tempt Adam and Eve? Did you want them to fail? I mean, when I had children, I baby-proofed my house. I didn't light a fire in the middle of the living room and tell them not to get close to it.
So she says, why did you tempt Adam and Eve? And with the bonfire thing, I baby-proofed my house when I had a baby, not putting a bonfire in the middle of it. And so apparently the implication is, why did you tempt Adam and Eve? My first reaction to hearing that is that God doesn't tempt anyone, nor is he himself tempted. As far as God the Father, Jesus faced every temptation man in his flesh, as a human, faced all of that and came through it with flying colors without ever failing or giving into temptation. He walked perfectly through it. But God doesn't tempt anybody to sin. God is not trying to get you to sin. There are times where we are tested, given an opportunity to choose. And so you could look at the garden with the one tree of the knowledge of good and evil that we were told not to eat from as a test, as a boundary, as a limit. Everything else, just don't do this one thing, did the one thing. You had one job. Do whatever you want except that. You can do absolutely anything. Enjoy all of creation. Just leave this thing alone. Nah, I want that, though. I want to choose that. And ultimately what they chose was to reject what God told them. And they desired to have the power, the empowerment to know or decide good and evil for themselves, which in and of itself, there's one way of saying, there's one line of thinking that maybe there was nothing special about that tree. Perhaps the whole sin of taking the knowledge of good and evil it was purely in the act of rejecting God's ways and deciding for themselves what was good, that they were going to decide that God's word was evil, and knowing this for ourselves, making the choice ourselves is good. That's at the heart of every piece of this line of questioning, that, I've decided that I don't like the way God did it, and my way is better, and it should be this way. Well, it's not. I'm sorry.